Hello, welcome to the Book Fix podcast, the podcast where we fix lives one book at a time. Spooky edition and
Spooky
also...
drunk addiction. Addiction? Hello?
Okay.
Addition. No.
Hiya, Hyra. Oh wait, I'm your host, Jelly.
And I'm your host, Jahida.
Hiya, Hyra.
See, I'm not the only one.
I'm not drunk. It's just you are giving me energy.
You make it seem like I'm way too drunk.
You literally drank 6... Okay. You took my water away from me.
I didn't. You put it over there.
I don't recall.
Oh my god.
So today was another spooky day. Happy October.
Happy October. If you're looking at the lights behind us, they're ghosts, I swear.
Yeah, they are. Shut up. So I think we should just jump into it because we are talking about a book that is a major motion picture.
Yeah, which we have not seen. Well, I haven't. I don't know if you have.
This book is called We Need to Do Something by Max Booth III.
It's called We Gotta Do Something.
We gotta do something. So let me give a quick summary.
Go ahead.
This story focuses on a family of four, a mom, a dad, a brother, and a sister, who get on their phones that there is a tornado warning. So they go into their bathroom and wait out the tornado. What they don't know is that one of the family members knows a little bit more about this warning than the rest.
Yeah. Or just something's off.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go ahead and guess how we're going to be rating this story. So Chelly and I, we don't tell each other how we feel about the stories that we discuss on this podcast.
Nope.
So let me go ahead and guess that you're probably going to give this 1.5.
A 1.5.
Yeah. Or 1.75 on Storygraph. Shout out to Storygraph.
Well, I'm the opposite. I think you're going to give this like a 4.
No thoughts.
No thoughts.
No reasons why. Okay, so like Charlie said, the story starts off with the family rushing into the bathroom. There was this warning, and I don't think they have, because don't most people, when they have a tornado warning, don't they go like under, like if they had a basement or something?
And they do mention that, and the little kid, Bobby.
Yeah, Bobby.
Says they don't have a basement. So that's why they're there, because the second safest place to be is your bathtub. Because if everything gets lifted, you're just going to go on a little ride.
A very scary ride.
But they do end up going into the bathroom and are just trapped in here. And just by the way they're talking, they're a normal family. But the story starts immediately with the daughter, whose name is Amy? Melissa.
Oh, yes. Because they called her Mel.
Okay, so it starts off with the daughter coming home late, and the parents are like, there is literally a tornado warning. Why are you coming home
Yeah,
late?
and we've been calling you. We've been texting you. You haven't answered any of our texts. And so they're upset with her. And she's just like, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm here.
I'm here.
I promise.
It's weird because all of this is going on, but for some reason she's very protective over her phone. Like she doesn't want to lend it to anyone. There's a point where the lights go out and the dad's like, give me your phone. And she's like,
I think that also had to pertain with the dad's personality, because the dad was just unhinged. The dad literally, all he brought in, because everyone brought in something into the bathroom, the dad only brought in like a little bottle of whiskey.
Yep.
Or like, I don't know, it was like in his little flask, and he was like, yeah, this is how I'm going to survive for the next day or so.
Oh, God.
And I don't know, it was just annoying. So the dad was just unhinged, and he was obviously upset. He was just always upset. And so when he asked for the phone, Melissa knew that he wasn't someone to be trusted with her phone.
Yeah.
Because she also said something like, I knew I shouldn't have given it to him.
Because he ended up throwing it out the door. So basically, they're in their bathroom where the entire story takes place. And the mom is kind of like butting heads with the dad and is like, it's not even a tornado. It's not that bad. It's just a little thunderstorm, just a little drizzle. And then they hear horrible crashing outside their bathroom door. Yeah. They have no idea what's going on. After the crashing ceases, the dad gets up and tries to open the door, but realizes that a tree is in front of the door. So they are all currently just stuck in the bathroom with no electricity, but they do have running water.
Yeah, and nobody brought food also because they just thought that it would have been over within like a day or so.
So they are in here and they're freaking out, and the mom is the one that tries to stay the most level-headed.
Yeah. Up until the end, I feel like the moms did a really good job with, like you said, being level-headed. Like she was just like trying to keep everyone sane in the situation.
Can I let you know something? I am a little drunk.
I'm very drunk.
I am going to get very spooked with this one.
Oh, we're going to... Yay! Woo, finally!
Because the idea of not knowing what's beyond a door scares me.
Same.
That's
me
so
too.
fucking scary. I want to bring up this video game that my cousin really likes. It's called Danganronpa. It's a very infamous game because the fandom is not so great. But it's very similar to this story because students are trapped at a school, but they're told that the reason they're in here is because the world ended on the other side of the exit.
Really?
So that's the whole game. It's like, I have to stay in here and participate in these like really fucked up events, but I would rather do that than go outside where the apocalypse happened. So it's very similar here, except it's weird because it's like it's a tornado, but then everyone like, oh no, it's not a tornado.
Yeah, they don't believe it's a tornado.
And then Melissa has a thought. She was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that ritual. And it's like, what the?
Yeah, it's very random. Well, the way that she brings it up, it's like, oh, I feel guilty. I should tell them. I'm not going to tell them, though, because then they're going to think a certain way about me. So she doesn't really give an inkling until the very end of what it is that she did. She does
say the word ritual, though, halfway through, before she even reveals anything. But it's never mentioned what she meant until the end.
Yeah.
But she does mention a lot that she is in love with this girl named Amy, who she had been trying to text before and was just waiting for a message from Amy. But then because her phone is thrown out, it's like no way to contact her.
She was very anxious because she was like expecting a response from Amy, but she never received one. And like Charlie said, she doesn't have her phone anymore. Didn't the dad accidentally drop it though?
No, he threw it out.
Why did he throw it out? I don't remember that part.
Because he's a drunk.
Oh, he was drunk? Oh, okay.
He's always drunk.
But the way that he said it was like, oh, I had your phone, but now it's over there.
Yep.
Sorry.
Let's talk about all of their personalities and let's start with him.
The dad is so fucking unhinged. He is very much a Republican.
Yep.
They're in Texas, aren't they?
Yes.
And he's so like, make America great kind of guy. And he is not loving at all to his children. He doesn't give a fuck about them. He didn't want to give up his bottle because the mom had the idea like, oh, we should put water in this bottle to keep everyone hydrated. But the dad was like, no, you should buy your own bottle.
Yep.
So he's just a fucking asshole. Especially and to the wife too. He's an asshole to the wife. I think his name was Robert.
There was even a moment where when they had been in there for maybe, I think, a week, Melissa thought to herself that the reason the dad talks is because he just likes hearing himself talk. It's not to talk to anyone else. It's just to hear himself.
I kind of loved it though because she was just like, he's such a fucking asshole. Like she would say little side comments like, oh yeah, you would say that. Or yeah, of course you wouldn't give a fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And he would be like, oh, what do you mean by that? She would just stay quiet.
You know what was the most satisfying moment? And I'm going to skip ahead just to say this moment. The part where Bobby, the little boy, the son, they were all talking about like, oh yeah, if we never know what you could do because you might hurt someone. And he was like, well, have I ever hurt your mom? And then Bobby's like, you make her cry all the time. And then he just like shut up because it was like, fuck. Like my kids notice, you know?
Yeah.
And he has so much like machismo energy. So like to be called out like that, oh, so satisfying.
It was very satisfying. I loved it anytime the dad would shut the fuck up. It was so great.
alcoholic to the max too, because when he ran out of his whiskey, he ended up drinking Listerine, which is mouthwash.
Oh my God, he was going crazy.
And then ended up eating
alcohol wipes. But
like
that was
chewing on them.
That was at the very end, but it was so fucking unhinged. He was just like, what the fuck can I take right now? Mm-hmm. That would, subside this edge.
So let's talk a little bit about the mom.
The mom to me was a little too passive. I just felt like she was so used to her husband's outbursts that she was just kind of like, Robert, stop telling them. Oh yeah, the dad would also scare his children more by saying shit like, oh, nobody's coming for us. Oh, no one's going to help us. Oh, we're just going to be stuck here forever. And then the wife would be like, Robert, stop fucking scaring the kids. Like he was so, like his way of thinking is, I'm going to be realistic to them so that to spare their feelings, kind of. And the mom was more passive. She was more nurturing. She would be there for Bobby and Melissa.
I thought
the dad was
that
just a fucking bitch.
I was waiting for her to blow up at him though, because there was one point where he was being so much, and she was like, "Just leave, just leave." But then that never came up again. I hated that never came up again.
Yeah, well, I mean, where was he gonna go?
But you're right. She was very passive throughout the whole thing, even up until the very end, except for the last page. Except for the last page.
Yeah.
But other than that, she just, I don't know. Because didn't it kind of feel like when shit got bad, she would just be like, no.
Guys.
No one.
Look at me, guys. Stay focused. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a certain part where she just kind of felt off to me.
Then there's Bobby. That boy had a fixation or something.
It was weird because some of the dialogue to me felt awkward.
Me too.
Bobby was super like, your butt smells. Yeah. Ew, Melissa, your butt stinks.
This sounds like a person who's never had a child or sibling. Like, who wrote this? Like, yeah, children can say more things
than just butts. Yeah.
And you know what? It like, to me, because I even wrote something where I was just like, this seems like a problem, like a mental problem. He needs counseling. Yeah. Because then he even talked about on YouTube, he had once seen like someone get probed. Yeah. Like an alien probe. And I'm like, what the fuck is this kid watching? Like, is that supposed to be something that unsettles me, or is this what you think kids do?
I'm not sure.
So
I really don't know what the direction of his character was, but I don't even know how old he was. He felt very young to me, but also off because he kept bringing up just his sister's butt. And it was mostly just his sister's butt, not just butts in general.
Same. Because yes, he did feel very young, but why did he know what an EF5 was?
I don't know. That was weird to me.
Yep.
Like he just saw this on YouTube one day and just brought it up to his family.
And then we have our main character, Melissa. How did you feel about her?
I wasn't really
While two Melissas are talking in the living room.
I know, literally. There's so many Melissas in this ambiance. I just felt like I wasn't sure how to feel about her character because the whole situation was just fucked, but she was so preoccupied with thinking about Amy because she's in love with Amy that I don't know. I feel like I need to talk about her a little bit more to really know how I feel about her. I didn't love her. I know that much.
I also didn't love her. So let's go ahead. They've been in here for a week now. And they are hungry and they are going crazy. Yeah. But it's very slow. Like the first moment where they have to kind of accept the fact that they're in here is the first moment they all have to pee. Yeah. Which is like, okay, like it's just something we have to live with.
And it was funny because Melissa was like, I cannot pee with you guys here. And they're like, where the fuck are we going to go, Melissa? We're locked in here because this tree is right outside.
Fucking Bobby watched her pee. Bobby had something, dude.
Yeah, I agree. Bobby had to have had something.
I don't know. That was weird to me. But that was like the first, like, okay, we're in here for a while. And then the lights were off. So like, you know, they had to just live with like when it was light and then when it was so pitch black you can't see anything. And then it started getting to the point where when they would think about what day it is, it's like, how long has it been? 5 minutes or 5 years? Like they were so like
They were so, and it was
fucked up with
wasn't
time.
it like sad because they would think about the day that they first arrived in this bathroom as yesterday. No matter how much time had passed, they'd be like, yeah, yesterday when we came into the bathroom, and they would just be like, oh, wait, it's been longer than yesterday.
Yeah. Because
Like-
they even talked about like a TV show. It's like, yeah, the new episode's supposed to run tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I was like, no,
Oh.
it already ran.
And then they were like, oh, what do you think happened? And then they would just start saying their predictions.
It's kind of weird because like they seemed like a healthy family sometimes, and then they would fall apart
Yeah.
to the point where I didn't think any of that felt realistic to me. Because if the dad was so fucked up to, in a flashback Melissa has, to be drunk in the front of the house, passed out, I don't think those moments would exist. Not as often as it did when they were in there.
I think they did mention that it only happened once, no? Him being passed out in front of the lawn.
Yeah, but it only takes once.
But then Melissa was bullied for it pretty much. And isn't that how she met Amy?
Yes. So we figure out Amy is a girl that she went to high school with. But Amy was someone that she automatically clicked with. They started dating and they fell in love. But the thing with Amy is that she had, I don't know if it's an actual disease.
Or if it's just in her head. I think it was just in her head. Because she told Melissa that she always felt like she wasn't actually alive. That she felt like she was dead, right? And so she was like, girl, we need to do something about it. I need to feel alive again.
Yeah. And so her and Amy turned to witchcraft.
Wasn't Amy already into it though a little bit?
Amy was, but then Amy was, and I think she kept it to herself. It wasn't until there was a deep fake of Amy having sex with someone going around.
Yeah.
Where they decided to use witchcraft to kind of shut up the boy who had spread that. But a part of me is like, okay, if they're high school students, why are they making deep fakes? That's not something that...
This feels more like in the future then, right? Deep fakes were more... Isn't that more of a common issue?
Like, yeah, but I don't hear a high school student making a deep fake. And why did they make it against Amy? Like, it didn't make sense to me why this would happen.
Right, I'm not sure either.
So,
unless people just like to pick on her as well.
So we know at this point that Melissa did witchcraft, and she did mention doing a ritual before, but we don't know the connection yet. This is all we know. So they are in this bathroom, and one day they hear a dog outside the door. And
oh my God, this part was weird.
And they're like, oh my gosh, there's a dog. I can't believe it. And
yeah,
Bobby
but
puts
then
his hand out.
Bobby is thinking that it's their dog because he thinks, oh my God, our dog ran away. Maybe it's him.
So he reaches out for Spot. And so does Melissa. And she feels the dog like licking her. But then the dog says like, yup, it's Spot. Like,
yeah, the dog talks.
And then this creature just starts sucking on her fingers.
How did you feel?
Ew. Like, what the fuck was that?
But the talking though.
I just thought they were going, okay, because I did not think any demonic shit was going on just yet.
Same. I didn't either.
People out there were surviving.
Right, but this dog was talking. And so it's licking Melissa's hand, right? And she grabs the tongue. And does she just fucking yank it out? I'm not exactly sure.
I think because it was sucking on her fingers, from what I understood, is she punched her hand in, stunned him, and then pulled the tongue out. And then closed the door.
And they hadn't eaten in a very long time. And she was like, well, or I'm not sure who.
Bone apple teeth. No, it was her.
Oh, was it her? She was like, well, I mean, we haven't eaten in forever, so this is it.
They all end up eating pieces of the tongue, but she was the only one that can stomach it. Everyone else threw it up.
Yeah. It sounded disgusting, though.
That does sound disgusting. And to me,
I wasn't even sure, like, if this was real. But they were eating it, though.
I feel like it was real. I don't know. This is one of those stories where it's like you're not sure what to believe. But I feel like it was real unless all of this was a hallucination.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you want to go down that route.
We can keep going though. What else happened after this?
So after that one, again, they're in there and they hear someone going like, hello.
Yeah, they hear a voice, which is really sad because they all get really hopeful over this. They all get really hopeful over this. Like they're just thinking, oh my God, finally. Thank God.
We're in here. But then all of a sudden you hear like machine guns and the person's voice stops. And then they're just kind of like, okay. I mean.
So they all kind of like quiet. Shut up
for a while
in response to this. Yeah.
All of their hope lost.
Because doesn't the dad start thinking of like conspiracy theories? Like, oh my God, this is it.
Terrorism.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. This country is falling apart pretty much.
He gets very, very racist. So there's that. And then the last thing was, and after that one, they're all sleeping very defeated. And I think Melissa is like leaned back and she has a cut on her shoulder that has been there since she's gotten in. It's just an open wound that she has a Band-Aid over. And she has like a hallucination, I'm not sure if it's real or not, of a centipede crawling up her arm and going in the open wound and just crawling inside of her.
Isn't it hallucination though? Because when she snaps out of it, it tells us, the readers, that it's healed or it's been more healed than when it first appeared there.
That's so weird.
That is weird.
But this whole story gets trippy though, because there's even a part where it's like, oh yeah, Bobby's just laying dead there. He's decayed a long time. Oh no, wait, he's alive.
Yeah. It almost feels like the time is passing and then going back. It's like forward and back.
Okay.
Like a pendulum. It's like weird.
Yeah. Well, she can't keep track of any. Well, I'm not surprised because being in there for a long time, I don't think time has meaning.
No, it doesn't.
For any of them. The last guest that comes in the bathroom is a snake.
Oh yeah,
and
that fucking snake.
In order to stay away from the snake, they all kind of just sit in the tub because it tries attacking the dad first, but doesn't end up succeeding. So they're all in the tub for a very long time until Bobby's like, I gotta pee. And they're like, you know what? It's been long enough. Well, the parents were just like, pee in the tub. But
Melissa didn't want him to pee in the tub.
No.
Because she was disgusted by that. Because she's been sleeping in this tub this whole time, pretty much. So that was like her bed.
Yeah. Can I read the part where she thought Bobby was dead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I really like the way it was written. This fucked me up. But Bobby can't possibly be talking because Bobby's dead. He's a corpse. He reeks of decay. It's just the three of us now. Bobby died, and he's not coming back. No, that can't be right. Why would Bobby be dead? Where am I right now?
Yeah. I feel like some of the writing did a really good job at making me feel like I don't even know what the fuck is happening, like the characters did. Like you would be in present time, but then they would be like, oh my God, Bobby's dead. No, he's not. And then we'd be back in the present time.
I just want to say, because we mentioned it already, but Amy says that she's sick. She has something called walking corpse syndrome, but she calls it Cotard delusion. So I looked it up, and apparently that is a thing called Cotard syndrome, which is any one of a series of delusions that range from a belief that one has lost organs, blood, or body parts to insist that one has lost one's soul or is dead. Cases have been reported in patients with mood disorders, psychotic disorders, and medical conditions. Cotard syndrome is rare, including among people with schizophrenia.
That sounds really fucking scary.
That is really scary.
I wonder when that manifests, though. Like, is that a thing that you feel from a very young age?
I think it comes with hyperfixations because with Amy, her hyperfixation was this whole, like, the solution is witchcraft. And that was her way of fixing it. So whatever she did, and, you know, you can take this story any way you want, but whatever she did was her solution, and she had to keep going.
Yeah.
So she probably was schizophrenic.
Yeah.
And undiagnosed and just had to like live like this. She found a solution and she cured herself, but she wasn't all there.
No, definitely not. And it sucks because our main character, Melissa, was so fucking in love with her that she never really saw any flaws. Like, she just kind of like went along with Amy wanting to do witchcraft. She didn't really have like her own, I don't know how to describe it, like her own thoughts.
No, she didn't. And I didn't like that about Melissa. I hated that she was just so willing to do anything that her girlfriend asked for. That missing dog Spot that ran away from them didn't actually run away. Melissa killed the dog to take its tongue. And it's weird because this whole
it was already dead. Remember, it was freshly buried and they needed a tongue in the ritual, so she unburied the dog, cut off its tongue to do this ritual, because I think it needed a cow's tongue. I don't remember what tongue it needed, but she was like, I hope this doesn't fuck up the ritual, because technically Spot's already dead and it needed like a live whatever, it doesn't matter.
Oh, she fucked it up.
Yeah, she definitely fucked it up. But so she took Spot's tongue, which just full circle of them eating Spot's tongue, allegedly. I'm not really sure whose tongue they ate, but they ate a tongue.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
God. So the snake is the last visitor in the bathroom when Bobby is going pee.
He's going in the toilet.
In the toilet. The snake comes and bites him in the shoulder, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And the dad tries to suck the venom out, and they put a belt like as a tourniquet. But I mean, it doesn't really last. The boy sadly passes away, and they just hold him in a blanket. And even though he's dead, they just have his corpse with them.
It was a rattlesnake, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking sad. Because the way that Bobby died was just so... Even though, like, the character sometimes felt a little off to me,
yeah,
I still thought it was really fucking sad that Bobby was the one who ended up dying first.
I also want to say, with that whole snake thing, the dad brought up, like, a weird anecdote where it was like, yeah, I used to have a pet snake named Monty.
Oh my God, that was creepy, though.
And, like, he talked about the snake that it ran away, hid in the walls, ate a bunch of mice, and then...
fucking killed all the mice on the walls.
And then came out, wrapped itself around the dad, and then died.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I don't know what he was doing, if he was just wanted to be with me in my last moments, or in his last moments, or wanted to take me with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought that one was very telling about the dad, because for someone to remember a story like that, and that's really what you're talking about at this moment, it kind of shows that he had no long-lasting relationships that mattered enough to talk about.
No.
Like, it was really only just that.
I feel like the dad was so surface level. But even from the beginning, he didn't really have a strong connection with his children. It kind of feels like a typical dad who just works however fucking long he works, and then he comes home, sits on the couch, watches TV, doesn't talk to his kids, maybe says hi, but that's about it. Doesn't really form like an emotional bond with his children. And is just angry all the time. Like, that was his personality.
Yeah. Yeah, he was irredeemable. And then he was the first one to crack that said, like, we gotta eat Bobby.
Oh my God, yeah. He was just like, well, we gotta eat him. And the wife was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But I fucking hated that shit because she didn't even fight it. She was sitting on the other side of the room and was like, don't touch him.
Don't eat Bobby.
Didn't it feel like that?
I just felt like her character was so passive throughout the whole thing.
And then when he eventually did eat Bobby, like he ate his organs, he threw it up all on the floor while the wife and Melissa just watched.
Yeah.
So
to me, it kind of felt like so much time had passed at this point that neither of them really knew if this was actually happening or not. Because going back, Melissa was already seeing her brother as dead.
Yeah.
When he wasn't. So I think that she was just kind of like, her timeline was off.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense on why he was dead already.
Yeah.
In the beginning. Because she is having a lot of hallucinations about Amy. She does remember when Amy kind of brings up why she's doing everything that she's doing. And Amy is just like, I just feel like the reason I felt dead was because something inside me was dead. So when I did the ritual, I fear that I accidentally woke up something else that was in me. And it's like, well, what do you think you woke up? And she's like, I don't know, a demon, I guess. Something from another realm, a malevolent spirit of some kind. Yeah. I think maybe it's attached to me all my life. Mm-hmm. And I fucked up and gave it permission to stretch its legs. So
I feel like Amy is just delusional. But this is also... Wasn't this just like a hallucination, though?
That was a hallucination. But it was a memory. But it was because the way she described when she would have flashbacks about Amy was as if she was there again.
Yeah.
You know? So you're right. Her time was all fucked up. But Bobby has been eaten. The dad is going crazy.
But he didn't eat him completely.
No, he just ate his organs and then threw it all up.
That's disgusting.
But then it gets weird. It's kind of... It's like unsettling because the mom is kind of just sitting there in the corner with Melissa defeated. Mm-hmm. And the dad's like, I don't think I can see.
Because the dad had eaten the organs, threw up, and then he was like, fuck this. I can't do this anymore. And he started eating the alcohol wipes, right? Mm-hmm. And then he was kind of like laying down defeated. And then he mentions, I don't think I can see. And the wife was like, yeah, that's kind of a side effect of eating alcohol wipes. And he was like, well, why the fuck didn't you tell me that was a side effect? Which is such a typical man thing to do, right? And of course the wife is like, bro, come on.
Mm-hmm. So it gets weird because when they're all there and they're all three basically just waiting to die.
Yeah, basically.
You hear a weird sound coming from the other side of the door. And they're like, what the fuck is that? And Melissa recognizes it as her ringtone. Uh-huh. And so then the dad goes over, gets the phone and answers it. And he's just like, okay, tosses the phone. And then he's like, the witches must be destroyed. Or like...
She confesses to them. Doesn't she confess to
them?
Before this, right? Mm-hmm. She tells her parents, like, oh my God, this whole thing is my fault. It's not a tornado. This is a response to our ritual because she used her dog's tongue instead of whatever tongue the ritual required. Mm-hmm. And so because Spot, their dog, was buried by that tree, that's why they assumed that the tree fell and blocked their way out. And she thinks that this is why this whole thing is happening, because something happened because of the ritual. And so she tells them this. The mom is kind of just like, no, like, what? What the fuck are you talking about? And the dad is like, yeah, you know what? Makes sense. Can't believe you fucking did this. Honestly, I knew it.
If I had done at least like 2 or 3 more guesses, I would have gotten it.
Yeah. Give him more time. I knew it.
I knew if it wasn't terrorism... witchcraft.
I'm surprised the dad didn't say it's because you're gay, isn't it? I fucking knew it. God damn it.
Oh my God. But there was a part because like they all start losing who they once were. Yeah. Because when the dad's like, oh, you're so fucking weird. I can't believe you fucking did that. You fucked it up for all of us. You're the reason your brother's dead. Yeah. And the mom just looks at the dad and says, speak like that to my daughter again and I'll slit your throat.
Yeah. So they all get kind of unhinged, which makes sense to me because they've been freaking stuck in this room for who knows how long.
Mm-hmm. And then it gets weird because it's nighttime. And I'm going to read this paragraph because it's like its own thing.
Yeah.
Mom's slapping me awake and I'm laughing because I can't feel her hand and I can't feel my cheek and I don't know why she's bothering. I try telling her that she's better luck slapping Bobby awake, but I can't move my face. So how is it I'm laughing? Except that it isn't my mother slapping me. It's my dad and he's not slapping. He's punching. And his hand's drenched in my blood and it wasn't me laughing either. It was dad the whole time, cackling and howling and screaming with laughter. I bite my tongue off and swallow it before he can steal it from me.
Damn.
None of that happened.
I don't think so. Because at this point, wasn't the dad like fucking debilitated?
And then the whole swallowing the tongue was something that someone else had done. Like, that's...
And also, at this point of the story, she took a bunch of NyQuil. And so she's just completely off.
And then there's another one where she says, do you hear me? Mom's asking. Somewhere far from here. Somewhere impossible. Mel, do you hear me? but I can't respond. I have no tongue. I have no teeth. My lips are absent from my face, and my face is absent from my skull, and I am bones, and I am ash, and I am everything, and I am nothing.
Damn. It kind of feels like she's lost her mind.
Yeah. And then it shows the image of the drawing that they made when they did their incantation. Scary incantation. But the incantation was basically supposed to kill all of the evil and anything that connected to it. Oh. But it's supposed to protect anyone who is friends with, like, I don't know. It was like this weird, like, it's going to kill everyone it has to, but not the people it doesn't have to. And it's like, yeah, that sounds valid. That sounds like it's really going to work. No, that's a good one. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Damn.
So I know the dad, the phone answer, and then he's like, kill the witch. And then he starts wrestling with the mom. And through the broken glass that came from the dad punching the mirror.
Well, he wrestles with the mom because he's trying to kill the daughter, no?
Melissa.
And she's like, no, you're not going to hurt her.
But then Melissa ends up killing the dad. So then Melissa and the mom, after the dad is dead, sit in the corner of the bathroom and just stay there. And then
isn't Melissa like completely out of it at this point?
She is, because the mom thinks that she died.
Yeah.
So the mom gets up, grabs the piece of metal that was in the dad's back, and just sits by the door and starts carving wood out.
Right. But then they mention like a door within a door or something like that.
Yeah, because she basically carved another whole part of the door. That's how I understood it. But she looks over at Mel and is just like, BRB. BRB, sweetie.
Don't move. I'll be right back.
Take care of your brother. Yeah.
But the way that this happened was so fucking hazy because she sees her mother leave out of the door and then she comes back like frantic.
Yeah, because the very last few pages, Melissa has a vision, and I'm pretty sure it's her mom, but she thinks it's Amy, or a hallucination. And it's just like, I'm so sorry, Amy. I'm sorry for everything. I'm sorry I caused this. And Amy's like, don't worry. You did all that you could, but some people are just cursed from birth. And she thinks to herself, Amy, I love you so much. Please don't leave me. So then the last part says, loud breathing, crying, mom rushing back into the bathroom, eyes wide, a new energy to her face, frantic tears down her cheek, frantic. She crawls through the bathroom, through the blood and vomit and shit smearing on the floor, crawls back to me and grabs me tight and squeezes for dear life. I don't know if I'm awake or asleep or alive or dead or what. Amy's gone, and I don't know if she was ever actually here. I don't think it matters anymore. Mom rocks us back and forth, refusing to look at the hole at the door within a door, whispering, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And she says it till the end of the book. It's like 2 pages worth.
It's going to be okay. Yeah.
That's the end.
I really wanted us to talk about this story because I had no idea how to feel about the ending. I was so fucking confused, but also really unsettled. Like, I didn't understand what the ending was supposed to
represent.
Yeah, like, what is it trying to tell me? Because the mom is so frantic from being outside of the door, finally coming back in, holding her daughter and just like telling her like it's going to be okay. So whatever she saw on the other side of the door must have been really fucking scary. But I do just want to make a comment. The family didn't really try that hard. Right? Like
no, they didn't. They could have done that the whole time. Right? And they had scissors too.
Doesn't it feel like they could have fucking like tried to push the door down or something?
And if the tree had fallen, I think
here's
you
the door.
Could have rolled it. Like, I don't know.
I pictured a big ass tree.
Okay.
I pictured
you can still, it's a cylinder. You can roll that shit.
Or you can just like go over it. Like if you just like carve on top. Unless the tree's like
I know.
How big is this tree?
Like I said, my cousin, she really likes this one game called Danganronpa. And at the end of the first game, it's basically because they were told you have to stay in this school, and in order to be here, you guys have to participate in this game. And in the game, you basically have to kill each other. And if you don't get caught, then you win. And if you get caught, then I kill you. So you just got to make it work, you know? So then they're in here and they don't know why they're doing this, but they're being televised. And they figured out that although they're being televised, everyone in civilization died a long time ago. So no one is watching. Yeah. So there's no point for anything that they're doing. But then the story starts to be like, but how do we know that everyone died? Like, we were just outside today, but it turns out that it's like this weird shit because it's like, yeah, we were just outside today, but then they find a yearbook of the year and it's all of their memories they made attending that school. Okay. But none of them remember it.
That's weird.
So at the end of the story, they're standing at the exit and they're like, we could pretend, because we get food here, we get electricity, we get power, we're safe. We could pretend that we're good here and we just never go outside. But then they're like, but what if he's lying and we were kidnapped and everything's good out there? And it's like, well, I guess we just have to check. And they open the door and that's how the game ends.
So you don't actually know what's on the other side. Damn, that fucks me up.
That fucks me up too. Because same with this, you don't know what the mom saw. And then how much of what Melissa said is true, because Amy was unhinged.
And I also hated the way that Amy acted after they did the ritual. Didn't it feel like she got what she wanted and she was just completely closed off?
Yeah, because she left and then she gave Melissa an excuse like, sorry, I had an upset stomach and I was kind of embarrassed. And it's like, no, you left.
Yeah, they did the ritual. Left. She was like, you know what? You should leave. And yeah, that was it. And so that's why Melissa was so preoccupied with her phone, because she was expecting Amy to text her and be like, hey, sorry I acted so weird. I still love you though, you know?
But Amy never contacted her. But then she had so many like hallucinations that involved Amy. So it's like, is Amy even alive?
Yeah.
Like, we don't know anything. And I'm just so unsettled by the fact that the mom came back so scared.
Yeah, same.
Like, what did she see out there that made her feel that way?
Yeah, because if it was something, I guess, normal, then she would have just like tried to grab her daughter, the only survivor here, and tried to like pull her out.
But then think about it. She also thought that her daughter was dead. So she found more safety in a room with 3 dead bodies than the outside world.
That's scary.
So that's like, ugh, shit. Like
That's scary.
Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this because I don't get what happened.
I don't either. And I've heard that the movie is kind of the same way, where you don't know what's happening. Like, you don't know what happened or what she saw.
I kind of want to see the movie. I kind of want to see the movie only because I want to see the execution of it. But like, I don't know. The fact that this whole witchcraft shit was just thrown in there, and it wasn't thrown in there like we found a book. It was like, no, yeah, we saw it on Reddit.
Oh yeah, Reddit. Like forums, right?
What the fuck is a subreddit? Like,
the dad was just like the daughter was telling him a whole story, and he was like, wait, go back to the beginning. What's a subreddit?
No, Dad, you don't get it. It was on it was on a subreddit, but then someone tweeted it, and I quote retweeted it like WTF. And
he was like, stop.
And then Amy quote retweeted it and wrote TLDR, and I was like, okay.
And then he was like, wait,
vibes.
You're gay?
I know.
I feel like he would be someone who would be so fixated on that, you know, like, oh, the world is falling apart because you're in love with a woman. I knew it. I knew it. But okay, I get what you're saying, but also, doesn't it feel like this is a response to their witchcraft? Because when the first time that they did a spell or whatever, the person died in response to their witchcraft. The one who made that deep fake, remember? Yeah. So they died. I don't think it's just like a coincidence. I think it just happened.
I mean, sometimes you just eat your food too well and choke on your tongue.
Maybe, I guess, sure.
I get what you mean.
Then wouldn't this second ritual, I don't know, like the fact that they made the second ritual and then the world is fucking falling apart, or their world at least. Isn't that too much of a coincidence?
And then the whole dog thing and the machine guns is so weird.
I feel like it has to do with the ritual though, because the dog coming back, licking her hand, saying, hey girl, it's me, Spot. Like, I don't know. Maybe she's just hallucinating and feeling guilty.
But everyone heard it.
Yeah, everyone heard it. And everyone ate the tongue.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why I'm like...
But nothing ever stayed in the room.
What do you mean?
Everything that was ever used and created like an issue was always thrown out the door. So nothing ever stayed in the room.
Okay. True.
So how do you know it's real?
That's true. I don't know. This story was kind of a mindfuck.
Yeah. Even the cell phone was thrown out the room.
Yeah.
So you can't check if that conversation the dad had was real.
But I also don't believe I don't believe that
Everything.
he actually talked to someone on the phone, because wouldn't that phone be dead?
Yep.
It's been weeks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
A phone can't
And
stay awake that long.
They be dead.
Yeah.
Because they threw up everything. They don't have anything in them anymore. And the water, I get it. You can stay alive with water, I think, for a total of 14 days before you start going crazy and then eventually die.
Yeah.
They should have been dead by then.
Yeah. It felt like at some points in the story, it felt to me that they were already dead, but then Melissa would wake up and then it was like, okay, everything's normal again. You know, we'd be playing loteria, not actually loteria, but just playing crazy eights or whatever.
Because who knows what happened after that ritual, because it was hazy from that whole situation. Because it even replayed the beginning of the story again at the end.
Yeah.
And it was like her.
Oh, yeah. When she saw them going into the bathroom.
So it could have also just been that she's stuck in like a purgatory. And this is just her hell, you know?
Yeah, that could definitely be it. I mean, I feel like Bobby dying first, because he's so young, it would be like a loss of innocence. So maybe that's why he was the first to go. Mm-hmm. And then I feel bad for her because she did feel guilty because she didn't want him to pee. She didn't want him to pee in the bathroom. Not the bathroom, sorry. In the bathtub.
What do you think, if he was a loss of innocence, what was the dad? Because I feel like the mom...
What we needed.
Because I feel like the mom was the loss of security. If we're saying it like that.
But she was still alive, though, at the end. I think.
But she wasn't her.
No,
it's
I feel like the dad dying was just showing that
she was capable of doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Because he was so fucking unhinged from the start that the fact that Melissa was the one who got rid of or killed him was just showing that, okay, she is capable. She could do it. Yeah, she's capable of this.
And she's not the same person anymore. Mm-hmm. I just, I want to know what's back there. I do want to say, with that video game that my cousin played, in the second game, it is revealed that it was true. What? Like the world ended out there.
Oh, it did? Mm-hmm. Damn.
But that game took years to come out. So people just kind of lived with that shit.
I hate that, though. I like endings like this because we can just make our own theories, assume, whatever. But I also want it to be clear. You know? Mm-hmm. I have like a love-hate relationship with this like type of ending.
I get it. I like it, but I wish I understood it more. But, I mean, I think overall, this was a really good story, but it really fucked me up. But I could see myself reading it again. Mm-hmm. I do like these types of endings if done well. Mm-hmm. And I hope it never gets a second one, because I fucking hate when endings are like this and the second one's like, JK. And it's like,
JK, it was a ghost the whole time.
Yeah, I told you, bitches. I fucking hate that shit. So I would rather just leave it where it's at and leave it to rest. I didn't feel like I loved any of the characters, but I did like how they all reacted because it kept the story going. I don't like Bobby's character at all.
Yeah, he was definitely a weird character.
He was a weird kid.
Almost like you've never been around a child.
That's what I was saying. But I think I would give this story maybe like a 3.5 out of 5.
Wow. I thought you would have a bigger issue with the dialogue. That was my guess, but I guess I was wrong.
I actually thought this story was easy to read, so I went through this one pretty quickly.
No, it was. I couldn't put this book down when I started it. So for me, I did have issues with, like, I guess it's not just the dialogue, but some of the characteristics of the characters felt so unbelievable to me, I guess. I don't know. So I didn't love some of their aspects, but I don't think we're meant to like the characters, honestly. Nope. They're all kind of unlikable. But I thought this story was fucking unsettling. There's something that just creeps me out about being stuck in a room and just slowly losing your mind, that just fucks with me.
It kind of reminds me of that Ryan Reynolds movie where he's buried alive. And the whole movie was filmed literally in a coffin.
Oh my God. That's Ryan Reynolds?
Isn't it?
Maybe.
Might be Matt Damon. But it's one of those where it's like it's called Buried Alive.
Oh, really?
And that movie's so fucking unsettling.
Yeah, I don't like that shit. I mean, that would be scarier because it's a smaller space. Mm-hmm. But I mean, a bathroom is generally really fucking small. And I think they even said it that it's tiny in there. So I was really freaked out. I feel like in my spookdometer, my spookometer, it would be like a 4.
I would say it's a 5 for me.
Really?
I don't like it. Yeah. I sat with it and there was one point where I was like, oh, this ain't for me.
I think it's just like thinking about that situation that really gets to me. And also the ending to me, even though I wish it would have explained, like maybe given us like a little bit of an inkling of what could have been on the other side of the door. I don't know. Like just not knowing at all was so fucking creepy. Yep. What do you think they meant by a door within a door?
I think it's kind of like going to hell.
You think so? Yeah. I kind of took it as like, okay, so she's carving this door, but they still have another door, which is like between the outside world. So whatever is in the house is still not like safe. I don't know. I didn't really know what to think about it.
She didn't even go outside.
Yeah, so she didn't go outside, which is scary to me.
So it's probably even worse.
Yeah.
They haven't even handled the first door.
Yeah, and I mean, like, think about it. So they heard machine guns because somebody was calling out for help. So it must have been
someone living in there.
Yeah.
Out there.
Or something. I don't know. Like,
true.
Just, I don't know if to take this as supernatural or just like a human just being fucking creepy. But then I would think it's more supernatural because of the dog.
If that dog was actually Spot, I thought hell just came to Earth. That's what I thought it was.
Okay.
And
because I think at one point they also thought it was just a human, that the tongue belonged to. But how are you just gonna like put your hand in and just yank a human tongue out? Like that's weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was creeped out. I'm still kind of creeped out thinking about this story. So to me, I feel like the story did a really good job at unsettling me, making me feel like gross. So I think talking about it makes me like it more though. Yeah. Because I think originally I liked it, but not like that much. I think I would probably give it like a solid 4.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty good. I don't know.
Wait,
I kind of like this story. And also like that part that you read where like she is seeing her or hearing her mom thinking that she's laughing because she's out of it. Yeah. But then she's like looking at her dad like hitting her and he's the one who's laughing. Like just moments like that is what I like reading for my spooky books. Yep. You know? Like it's just like a mindfuck. I think
this was a solid spooky book out of the ones that we've read.
Yeah, I would agree. I feel like this one was up there with hidden pictures.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for anyone who's listening in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcast on. Thank you so much. If you can leave a rating of 5 stars and a review just telling us what book we're going to read next. We're all filled with spooky books. So anything else that is not spooky, we are welcoming because I think I'm going to need a lot of romance to heal from this one.
Some romance, a little bit of fantasy. Just send it our way. Let us know what you want us to talk about.
If you have a little bit of extra money, there is a way you can help us.
So we did make a Patreon. And for right now, it really just serves as a way for you guys to let us know that you appreciate or enjoy what we do for the podcast. If you're interested, you can find us on patreon.com/bookfix.
Yep. And if you are watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. If you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell because we post every Tuesday and Thursday. If you want to follow us on social media, we do have an Instagram and a Threads at the Book Fix Pod. And we do have an active TikTok at the Book Fix. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Let's find reviews.
Yes, let's do that. But I also just want to bring up that people giving us 5 stars is amazing. And I think that that's been a big factor on our podcast being more recommended. So it really, really does help a lot. And we really appreciate it. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
All right. So I found one on Goodreads. It's written by Alex. They gave it 5 out of 5 and they wrote, well, that sure was something. What starts out as a claustrophobic tale of survival horror as one family bands together in their bathroom to wait out a tornado ends in a fever dream of terror. The description of this book is as simple and vague. A family on the verge of self-destruction find themselves isolated in the bathroom during a tornado warning. That's it. That's all the reader gets. And that's basically all I'm going to leave you with because I want your senses to react like mine did. I want you to feel as stressed, confused, disgusted, and heartbroken as I did. Enjoy. It's going to be okay.
Okay. Well, from Kirsty, who gave it a 1 out of 5. Great premise, but jumps the rails quickly. Realistic parts make little sense. Just take the hinges off the bathroom door already. Hallucinatory supernatural parts become tiresome. Needs a copy edit. Unsatisfactory, non-ending. Thank you so much for listening, and we will talk to you next time. Bye. Oh my God. I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
I feel like
spooked.
we've been more scared though.
No, we definitely have. There was one episode, and it's Banana Fish. Where we literally afterwards were like, I'm gonna go take off my makeup and go to sleep. And we both literally slept like
cradled against each other. I don't even want to think about what it was. Like, I don't remember, but
I remember, but I don't want to say it.
The story itself wasn't like horror. Like, it's not like scary. So for us to be that unsettled was kind of funny.
Yeah, it was really
but
funny.
I feel like we just well, at least me. I'll speak for myself. I just become a little bit more anxious when I'm drunk. So
okay, same. I'm kind of getting there right now.
I'm kind of anxious right now, but in a good way. Should we watch a scary movie right now?
No,
We
I
should
knew you
watch
were
a
gonna.
scary
No.
movie right now and then react to it.
Okay, we're done.
Oh.